If I can make a profit of $146,984 with none of my own money, so can you. Plug and play these templates to analyze your real estate deals and know your profit before you pull the trigger. It prevents you from paying too much. This particular deal is called Subject to. Subject to means you agree to take over the seller's payment, either entirely or partially, but you are not guaranteeing their loan with the bank. Never accept the liability of the loan. You should always try to get the deed because the seller is usually ready to just walk away from the property. This motivational seller called me from one of my ads. He tried to sell his house for a couple of years using several different realtors. He couldn't get it sold. He bought another house and was making 2 payments. When he called me, he was truly motivated. I begin with this example because I want you to know you can buy and sell real estate with none or little of your own money. And some of the motivated sellers will give you their house. This is just one of many. This particular house is in Warren, Ohio, and the value of the house at the time was $66,000. Usually when a buyer sells their house conventionally, they'll give a 5% discount. The real estate commission is going to charge them 6%, and there's usually 3% in holding cost and selling cost. That means at the time of closing, this seller is going to get a check for $56,760. Well, here's the problem. They still owe $67,000 on the property. So they would have to come out of pocket $10,240. So the motivated seller wants to sell their property for what's owed on it at 67, and they want a down payment of nothing. Their monthly payment is $610 a month. Their holding costs are 0. There are no tax benefits for them, and the terms are until paid. Now that I know this information, I negotiated with the seller for $67,000, what they owed. I paid them 0 down, never came up, and I never brought it up. I agreed to pay them $610 a month, and I asked for $10,000 from the motivated seller, and they agreed. The holding costs for me over the period of time that I owned the property, in fact I still own it, is $202 a month. Tax benefits very little, terms until paid. Then I ask a few other questions. Will you have a problem if my payment starts in 90 days from the day I take possession? And they agreed. Is the house in good condition? And the answer is yes. Does the seller know that the loan stays in their name? And the answer is yes. Did I get the deed? And the answer is yes. Now that I have it purchased with good terms, I go out and I find my motivated buyer. Over the years, I've had several people in the property, and again, I'll remind you I still own it. The value of the house today, based on comps of like houses in the area, is $189,900. Over the years, I collected $24,000 in non-refundable deposits and down payments. My monthly payment over the years averaged $738. The funds from the seller, there are 0 for the motivated buyer. The holding costs, there are none. The tax benefits, there are none. And this is a 3-year balloon. Now, if I have a 3-year balloon, how many times can I do this deal and collect deposits? And that answer is as many as I want. Now, one of the things I want to point out is there's a difference between my payment to the seller, which is $610, and my payment coming in for the motivated buyer at $738. And that amount is $128. I've had this deal for 134 months. Now let's take a look at my profit. I made $122,900 from the difference between the $189,900 that it appraises at today minus the $67,000 that I agreed to pay the motivated seller. I collected $24,000 over the years in down payments and deposits that are non-refundable. That means my profit is $146,900 so far. Well, I also collected $17,152 on the difference between the 738 that I get from my motivated buyers minus the 610 that I pay out, and I've had it for 134 months. That becomes $17,152. I also received the $10,000 from the motivated seller at the beginning of the deal. Tax benefits are very little, so we don't take those into consideration. There's also $202 that I spent as holding costs per month over the 134 months that I owned it, which comes to $27,068, which I have to take out of my profit, and my profit now becomes $146,984. Now, what I want to point out, I have no money in this deal. I have $10,000 from the motivated seller. Another major plus for this deal is today my tenant buyer pays me $1,705 per month. This is a deal that I know you can do and anybody can do, especially if they don't have any money. Let's get her done.